my YouTube channel. I'm Charles, right to About Children TV, back at it for a new video. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn post notifications on so you'll be notified every single time I interact with a new video on this channel. I'm on ABC News. I have 4 stories for you guys tonight, plus a bonus story that we're going to start now. And our bonus story is taking us to Pontiac, Michigan, out of Detroit, which we have 2 other Detroit stories to talk about too. 13-year-old boy is accused of 13, and he's accused of 11 break-ins targeting young girls. So, Pontiac, 2nd and L. A 13-year-old was apprehended for allegedly targeting young girls in a string of home invasions in Michigan, 30 said. The teen was allegedly involved in the 9 break-ins in Pontiac and 2 in Detroit, Oakland County Sheriff Michael Burchard said. On February 4th, the suspect, who was wearing a ski mask and was armed with a knife, choked a sleeping 10-year-old girl, according to the sheriff's office. The girl screamed, and then her mom saw the suspect run down the stairs and out of the house, the sheriff's office said. Quote, "This is the worst nightmare for any parent, that somebody might be trying to climb in through a window to get after their kids, especially a young teenage girl," Burchard said at a news conference. There were few physical injuries, but Burchard stressed the imminent emotional trauma of being targeted in bed. The break-ins began 2 years ago, and then the teen was arrested on Thursday, according to the sheriff's office. The suspect allegedly looked for an unlocked window and had a knife during several incidents, he said. Charges are not yet clear. The 13-year-old's parent has been cooperative, Burchard said. The teenager is in custody and set to appear in court on February 21st, according to the sheriff's office. Here's the news video.
Has been arrested in connection with multiple break-ins targeting young girls. Eva Pilgrim is here with more. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Rebecca. That teenage boy is behind bars this morning. Investigators say he appeared to target young girls, breaking into their homes, in some cases attacking them. Detectives say the 13-year-old has been tied to 9 completed or attempted break-ins in the Detroit area dating back to 2022. The recent attacks really causing fear in that area. The most recent break-in last Tuesday. Investigators say the teen, wearing a ski mask and all black clothes, broke into a home through a window before choking a 10-year-old girl who was sleeping. Her screams scaring him off. In each case, detectives say the teen got in through an unlocked window. In a few of the cases, he carried a knife. Authorities thanking the public for all the tips, saying it was a tip that led to this arrest, Robin.
All right, Eva, thank you so much.
We turn now to Michigan, where police...
My thoughts about this story, my closing thoughts. Number 1 is that I watched the news conference of this story. And what gets me is that this 13-year-old is brave enough, bold enough to complete 11 break-ins. But if you think about it, this 13-year-old is not alone. Somebody, I don't know who it is, but it could be his immediate family, it can be friends he hangs with, but somebody older than him is clearly aiding him and going with him to commit these crimes. Because how is a 13-year-old experience to be breaking in those many houses? Somebody is giving him ideas, encouraging him to do it. Somebody probably, you just never know in Detroit. You just never know. But a person like that needs to be off the streets, targeting young children himself. No, needs to be on the street. He's clearly a danger to society. And society as a whole has failed this child, his family, Detroit, the public, police department, because this child, this 13-year-old, desperately needs help. The charges he's facing, if he's convicted as an adult, think about that. This 13-year-old will face serious prison time. Serious. Up to 30 years. 30, 40 years in prison because of his actions. And I think what we gotta start doing in these communities, in these rough, dangerous communities, is uplifting our children. Where are the fathers in these homes? Where was this 13-year-old father at? And whose child is out that late committing these type of crimes? And how you not knowing as a parent that your 13-year-olds out here committing these type of crimes? So I say charge the parents. Because why have you not known, and how have you not known that your child's out here committing this type of crime? That child's, this 13-year-old must have saw some stuff go down to where he thinks it's okay to burglarize people's homes. He's hanging around the wrong crowd. I don't know if it's bad influence in his household, but somebody's teaching his child how to commit these crimes, and it's never okay. And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be more than the police investigating. Oh, CPS is going to investigate. Because that was a 13-year experience to break into 11 homes. And there's no supervision of this 13-year-old whatsoever. So he's just out committing these type of crimes. 11. 11. Which means he's experienced. Keep all of these 11 victims in your thoughts and prayers because they're traumatized. Somebody break into your home, your sanctuary, you'll be traumatized. I said, at this point, this 13-year-old just needs to serve as much time as a judge can give him. Prison, in my opinion, is the only place this 13-year-old is going to get the help at this point. Because he needs to sit around some real men who are going to tell him, hey, this ain't the life you're going to live. And unfortunately, he might go to an adult prison. This is a serious crime. Alright, so let's go to our first story. This is story 1 out of 4. This story just happened. And this one is also out of Detroit. Seven hours ago on ABC News. So Detroit again is going to take an L. Two children believed to have frozen to death in a van parked in a casino parking garage, police said. The two children who were living with their family out of a van are believed to have died from hypothermia after spending the night in a Detroit casino parking garage amid frigid temperatures, police said. The children ages 9 and 2 were found frozen to death on midday Monday in a Hollywood casino hotel at Greektown parking garage, police said. It's a terrible day in Detroit as we deal with the tragic loss of two young people, and it's going to make us rethink everything that we're doing, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan said during a press briefing Tuesday. The family is believed to have been living out of the vehicle for 2-3 months and parking at various casinos in Detroit, according to interim Detroit Police Chief Todd Bettison. The family had parked on the 9th floor of the Hollywood Casino parking garage around 1 a.m. Monday, police said at some point during the night. The vehicle got really, really cold. The children were not moving. At some point during the night, the vehicle stopped running, possibly due to a mechanical failure after running out of gas, and the mother had called a friend for help, according to Pontiac. The mother first noticed the older child was not breathing and called 911 around 12 p.m. Monday. Batson said the friend transported the boy to a nearby children's hospital. He said, while checking on the other 4 children who were in the vehicle, they noticed the 2-year-old was not breathing and children's grandmother called 911. Batson said the family also called the friend who returned from the hospital to bring the girl there too. Batson said both children were pronounced dead at the hospital. Batson said the medical examiner will determine the official cause of death, though police preliminarily believe they died from hypothermia. He said the temperature in the garage was under 32 degrees, he said. The hospital called police around 12:47 p.m. Monday to report the deaths of the children, Batson said. The case remains under investigation and will be presented to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, Batson said. There were 2 adults and 5 children total between the ages of 2 and 13 in the vehicle, police said. The other 3 children were examined at the hospital and are now with family members, police said. Deacon said they have learned the family had reached out to a homeless response team in late November of 2024 and reported they were no longer able to stay with the family they had been living with and needed a place to go. He said no resolution was reached during that conversation and that for whatever reason it is not deemed an emergency, which would have prompted an outreach person to visit the family. The mayor has called for a review of the family's case and the city's homelessness services, including the call center and public information policy. He said he also wanted to state a policy where outreach workers automatically do a site visit for cases involving minors. Duggan said the city increased the numbers of shelters and drop-in beds ahead of the winter, but wants to ensure people know what services are available. Quote, the heartbreaking part of this is that there were family shelter beds available just a few miles away from the family plugged into that root town structure, but brings home the point that having services available doesn't mean very much if the residents that need them don't know how to access them, he said.
At the Disneyland Resort.
I'm going to show you a news video.
Just an all-around tragic situation. A 2-year-old and a 9-year-old losing their lives, freezing to death. And so tonight, local organizations are speaking out, reminding the community there is help out there.
So as we know, we've had quite a few cold snaps, and it's very dangerous. People, you can't sustain being outside in these type of, cold temperatures. So that's why it's very important that people know that they can come get a meal, they can get a place over their heads, they can get warm.
It's a reminder from organizations like Detroit Rescue Mission Ministries and the city of Detroit.
We continue to try to provide as many resources as possible, really just to try to prevent situations like this.
In the wake of unthinkable tragedy, police say a car full of 5 children pulled into this Hollywood Casino hotel parking lot around 1 a.m. Monday, a place to sleep for the homeless family. But by the next morning, the car had run out of gas, and by noon, the family discovered the worst.
The mother inside the van, along with 5 children, noticed that one of the children wasn't breathing, and she called family to come help, to convey to Children's Hospital.
A 9-year-old little boy found to be not breathing. Then later, a family member also finding that a 2-year-old little girl also not breathing. Both of the children believed to have frozen to death. Temperatures around 10 degrees in the city overnight.
Does your heart just go out as a mother? It really does, because at a point in time, that was me and my children. We were in a car at one time.
Shalisa Williams is a mother of 5 as well, and stays here at the Detroit Rescue Mission located on Gratiot from time to time. She lost her job in 2023 and says she sees herself in that mom, in that family that had nowhere else to go. And she encourages other families to seek help if they need it, so this does not happen again.
But I have a 1-year-old, and I couldn't imagine.
Meanwhile, the mother has been detained, and as tragic as this situation is, police say this will be investigated criminally. Now, if you or anyone you know need help or assistance, we have a list of resources for you. That's at WXYZ.com.
Alright, closing thoughts. Knowing that the temperature out there that day was 10 degrees and below, and I understand that the mother was homeless. She had her 5 children. They were staying in the car. I understand all of that. Now, to park under a casino structure in a parking garage is probably not the best solution, especially in the 10-degree weather. And if you are out there homeless and you have a family there and you're just living in a car or a truck, a van, make sure you have that vehicle gassed up. Make sure you put enough gas in there. That way, you and your family be safe from that gas don't run out, because tragedies like this do happen. And I think there needs to be more resources out there for the homeless. Charging them out there. I mean, one thing you could technically charge it with by law is 2 counts of negligent homicide, I guess. Even though it's going to be hard to prove in court, because remember, she's homeless, the vehicle broke down, you got to prove that she was negligent beyond a reasonable doubt, that she fell to the safety of her children. So it's a lot to prove in a court of law, but once there's an update to this case, I'll let you guys know, and I'll bring it to you live. But all around sad, 2 children gone. Whether it's an accident or intentional, we don't know. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, and there's 4 children. That's probably 3 children now that's probably going to be suffering because they lost their mother, and now they lost also 2 of their siblings. There's no winners in the situation. It's devastating. Let's move on to story 2 out of 4. So this is another Detroit story. The mother that killed her 9-year-old son. I'm a WSAZ. Detroit's taking yet another L. Mother charged with killing her 9-year-old son, burying his body in a backyard. A woman accused of killing her 9-year-old son and burying his body in her Detroit backyard has been charged with murder, a prosecutor said Wednesday. A shallow grave holding remains was discovered on January 6 while the landlord was preparing the house for new tenants. No details released at the time, although Detroit police acknowledged an investigation was underway. Zamar King was smothered to death on October 24, 2 weeks before his 31-year-old mother left for Georgia with a 3-year-old son, Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy said. Quote, I haven't been a prosecutor for a long time, and I often say that I have seen all. The horrors of the child abuse case defy that. Worthy said the alleged actions of this defendant are among the most callous I have seen and hope never to see again. The mother was arrested on January 10th in an unrelated case in Cobb County, Georgia. Alarm records show she was awaiting extradition to Michigan on a murder charge and other crimes. Worthy said Zamar's father recently became aware of the boy's death. This case is rather shocking, said Todd Benson, Detroit's interim police chief. In my 27-year career, I don't remember seeing anything like this. Here's the news video.
About the case of a young boy named Zamar King III.
Wayne
County prosecutor Kim Worthy levying charges against 41-year-old Brandy Pierce for the murder of her 9-year-old son.
The cause of death found by the medical examiner was smothering and neck compression.
Authorities believe it happened in October of last year. Zamar's remains were not found until January 6 of this year, buried behind a garage at the rental home on Woodingham, where Pierce lived with Zamar and her other son, said to be 3 years old.
It's alleged that she purchased a shovel. She bound him by tying his hands and feet together and dug a hole in the background of the house on Whittingham, where she had been living for a short time.
Sources tell me Pierce moved into the house in early September of 2024.
It's sad, though. It's really sad that that happened.
One neighbor who did not want to be identified recalled an encounter with Pierce back in early November. She knew something was wrong. It was a month after authorities say Zamar was murdered.
As a woman, I'm looking. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah. And then she would stand there, and then she would walk back. She'd stand there, walk back. So maybe something was wrong with her. I don't know. Or maybe she was dealing with the issue of what she did.
Sources tell me the landlord went to the home to do some maintenance 2 days before Thanksgiving and found the home vacant. Pierce fled the state to Georgia with her 3-year-old son, where Worthy says he is now in foster care. Public records show Pierce was arrested in Brookhaven, Georgia, for cruelty to children in the first degree on December 20th. Pierce was arrested again in Cobb County, Georgia, on January 10th for possession of a controlled substance and theft. Meanwhile, here in Wayne County,
we are charging Brandy Catrice Pierce today with 1 count of murder in the first degree premeditation. Count 2 is homicide felony murder.
The Detroit Police Department works relentlessly on behalf of victims, and we are confident that there will be accountability for this.
Closing thoughts. This mother not only killed her child, put his body in a shallow grave behind the house, but then take her other child, 3-year-old son, moved across the world to Georgia. You know, I'm glad they got this completely 100% right. First degree premeditated murder and felony murder. That so-called mother used to never see the light of day again. And if Detroit have the death penalty, she needs it. Because that is not a mother going around and killing your child for no reason. What reason would make you so upset that you would take your frustration and anger out and kill your innocent child? I don't understand. And what man chose to sleep with that thing? Okay. And like I say on this platform all the time to women, and I say do a background check on these men. But in this case, to the father. Maybe you should do a background check on this woman before you slept with her and before you had access to this woman. Because a lot of these women out here today are just like these men out here. Abusive, manipulative, harming their children, killing their children. And people like us, men like us, gotta put up with it. But if we start as a unit, as a community, and start be putting this stuff right away, maybe we start saving these children's lives. Because no reason why this child should be dead today. But the system failed this child. This mother ultimately failed her child. Society failed this child. The child was being abused way too long. And then the mother chose to come. Somebody knew what was going on and failed to intervene. Somebody should be put at this some time ago. Come on now, Detroit. There's a lot of cases coming out of Detroit I've been talking about since a week. Detroit, y'all have to do better. Seriously. Y'all looking real bad right now. Keep that child and his family in thoughts and prayers. Story 3 out of 4. The 16-year-old is missing. I want to shout out Nancy Grace because she was talking about this story. So I'm going to pull it up and talk about it. So let's see what the story is out of. Ain't getting affected. So Kansas City, I think the story is coming out of. So Kansas City is taking an L. Beaver Dam, Kansas City. So, say Beaver Dam. It's this is the victim. She's 16. She's missing. And police believe she is with the 40-year-old who Gary Day, who is the unborn child of the 16-year-old who he got pregnant. So let's talk about it. It has been more than a week since an embryo that was issued for 16-year-old Sophia Franklin of Beaver Dam. Now her family is publicly sharing their thoughts. Sophia has been gone for a week. We don't know what to do other than wait and pray. It's a torment. Her absence is felt every moment. There is so much on the horizon for you. Sophia, hard things, yes, but good things too. And your family is here through all of it. We ain't going anywhere. We just need you to come back. Real value isn't found in how much money you make, how work you work, or even the aftermath of others. Affirmation of others. Sophia, you are a soul made by God and full known by God and entirely loved by God. You are a gift to us. For all our family and friends, thank you. Please don't stop sharing. Sophia needs to be home. Please let law enforcement know if you think of anything that may be significant in getting her back. So again, Amber Alert was sent out Monday, February 3rd, for Sophia, who is 3 months pregnant. Authorities believe Sophia is with 40-year-old Gary Day, who is the unborn child's father. Police believe Day and Sophia are traveling south in the 2014 black Buick LaCrosse. Police have said Day swiped out a Kansas license plate tags with a Pennsylvania plate. Sophia is 5'9" and weighs about 185 pounds. She has brown hair, blue eyes. She was last seen at home at 9 p.m. on Sunday, February 2nd. There's no contact order for Day and Sophia. Charges have also been filed, and an arrest warrant has been issued against Day. The Amber Alert is also active in Day's home state of Arkansas. The Missouri Highway Patrol has also warned the pair may be traveling throughout that state. If you've seen them, call 911. Again, if you see them, call 911. Don't approach. He could be armed and dangerous. Call the tip line at 888-304-3936. You know what makes me more confused? First of all, what a 40-year-old man doing with a 16-year-old? That's number one. Number two, what would make it okay for a 40-year-old man to get a 16-year-old pregnant? And the thing is, like, this case reminds me of the case out of Florida. I forgot the case, but it was out of Florida, and I forgot the case out of Florida. And then, what's his name? They were on a road trip. They were dating. Police put them over, and he had killed his girlfriend in the woods, and then killed himself. That's the case that reminds me of this case. We live in a scary world, scary times, and I think it's unfortunate. You just got to be careful. You just never know who's out there to get you. Even when he's captured, I think more just than a, sex crime should be put on him. I think kidnapping the first degree. I think, child endangerment, slews of charges. I think this person needs to be put away forever. It's the first time we out here kidnapping folks. And I don't know what the parents. I don't know if they were aware or wasn't aware that this man was dating their daughter, but I think it's very odd that you would have to know that this man was dating your daughter, and from day one, you should have reported that man to the police. Because had you reported him to the police, he would have been arrested, and your daughter would be, in your care. And unfortunate things like that. When things like that don't get reported, bad things happen. And, I hope there's a good outcome in this case. I will update you guys on this case. Please keep your loved ones close and dear to you. Know who your children are associated with the internet. The internet is a dangerous place in 2025. It's dangerous. You just never knew. You never knew. So, children out there dating, make sure they're dating in their age range and not older people, younger people. We live in a sick world today. So, please just be aware. Now, this story, our final story, story 4 out of 4. Let me pull it up. This story happened back in 2016, so it's roughly old story, but it's an update to it. I'm on allsides.com on the last article. Let's see what the story is taking us out. I believe the story is out of Boston. Well, I'm on Facebook. It's the confronter news article, but this is the victim, who's 4 years old, and this is the mother. The story, I got this story from Dr. Rich on Indisputable on YouTube, so just chose to talk about it. I'm trying to feel over this. I believe it's the story's out of Boston, so Boston is going to take an L. Jordan Chortone interviewed Tabitha Torrey, a mother who tragically lost her 4-year-old daughter Tina in 2016 due to what Tabitha and her husband alleged was severe understaffing and delayed care for her daughter, provided by Good Samaritan Medical Center in Brockton, Massachusetts. Owned by Stewart Healthcare, despite her daughter suffering from seizures, hospital healthcare staff did not check on her for 2 hours. When I walked into the emergency room, I didn't see doctors and nurses standing around like you would normally see in an emergency room. It was like a ghost town. There's a news video, but my closing thoughts is that a lot of these hospitals today are just full out negligence. If you have a patient in a hospital that is dealing with a serious illness, trouble breathing, asthma, all that, then there should be around the clock care. You shouldn't be leaving out the room in and out when you're dealing with a serious health risk patient. And so, to me, it just seemed like a negligent case, which the family is suing for negligent, basically, negligent death lawsuit. So, sure, I think it was hospital staff should face criminal charges. Yeah, I mean, because had you been doing your job correctly, that child would be still here today. And you know, a lot of these physicians don't take their job seriously, and they take it for granted. And I think that it's selfishness because you're paid on the tax dollar money, and when you fail to do your job correctly, bad things happen to good people. And that child should, like Dr. Rich said, that child should be here today. And unfortunately, because of the folks that's supposed to be there and help and protect you, and they failed you, is the cause of why the child's not here. And I think the family is still devastated from this. Although this happened in 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 9 years. And I'm pretty sure the family still hasn't got a full answer of why this happened. And I think that it's just sad, and every one of those doctors needs to be held accountable who took part in this. I think it was brutal, it was negligent, and when we start holding people like that accountable, I think our skill rate of health and the levels of negligent homicide cases in hospitals will go down. We'll just start prosecuting these healthcare workers. We asked to. If you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't work in a hospital. It's just that simple. Condolences to all the victims of today's stories. It's tragic. It's tragic, tragic, tragic. It's not easy doing these stories, but it's like sometimes you have to give your audience what they want. And I hope that what I do inspire people to stand up for children and speak for children and do the right thing for children and not against or to children. So please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and post notifications on. You'll be notified every time I drop a brand new video on this platform. And see what I got on. Next season, we're coming. So again, like, comment, subscribe, share, post notifications on. Subscribe. Please hit that subscribe. Hit it. Get this video 25 thumbs up. I want 25K on this video. I want a lot of likes, a lot of subscribes. Help me out. Push. I'm trying to get to 50. 50 is our goal. So hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Peace.